The High Council of Sirius. This unexpected shift is about to get real interesting. Blessings, beloved ones. It's wonderful to connect with you and all who will be reading and hearing our message. Thank you for this transmission. The timeline you are currently experiencing has diverged significantly from the trajectory that you were on previously. The shift is not merely a matter of you speeding up within your ascension, it is fundamentally altering the very fabric of your reality very quickly. As a result, the process of full disclosure regarding extraterrestrial existence and contact will unfold in ways that are not only unexpected, but also transformative. Through an unexpected turn of events, things are about to get real interesting. The forces of light, which encompass a vast array of benevolent entities, have provided your world leaders with ample time and opportunities to make informed decisions regarding the nature of disclosure and the implications of contact with extraterrestrial beings. However, there are powerful factions that seek to manipulate and control the narrative that humanity is presented with. These entities, who are referred to as the Dark Cabal, are actively working to suppress the truth and prevent it from surfacing. They engage in tactics that include prolonging the disclosure process and scrubbing evidence that could lead to a broader understanding of your cosmic existence. Their efforts are aimed at maintaining the status quo, where misinformation reigns and the public remains unaware of the reality that exists beyond their immediate perception. In stark contrast, those who are genuinely committed to the work of the light are not bound by the constraints of alliances with world leaders or corporate interests. These individuals, often referred to as the White Hats, operate in the shadows, working diligently to expose the truth that has been hidden for far too long. It is important to clarify that while some may attempt to frame these beings as political actors, this is a misrepresentation of their true purpose. Their mission transcends politics. It is rooted in the fundamental principles of truth, freedom, and the liberation of humanity from oppressive forces. The readiness of these light workers to unveil the real truth signifies a pivotal moment in human history. They are prepared to open the doors to humanity's true freedom, liberating individuals from the tyrannical grip of the Dark Cabal that has long sought to control and manipulate the populace. It is essential to understand that the truth is much closer than you might perceive. The presence of many benevolent extraterrestrial and interdimensional beings are already seen in your skies. We have been making ourselves known to many individuals across the globe. However, caution is paramount. We are acutely aware of the potential for concern that our presence might provoke among government entities, many of which are actively working against the acknowledgement of our existence. This delicate balance requires us to proceed with care, ensuring that our visibility does not incite unnecessary panic or hostility. As humanity continues to ascend at a rapid pace, this process is inherently intertwined with the emergence of truth. You are quickly unveiling all that has been concealed, regardless of the efforts made by those who wish to obscure it. The divine light that resides within each individual serves as a guiding beacon, leading you toward true unity and a deeper connection with your own divine essence. This inner illumination will empower you to discern the truth amidst the chaos, fostering a collective awakening that is essential for the evolution of human consciousness. The journey ahead is one filled with promise and potential. As you navigate this transformative period, remain open to the revelations that are on the horizon. The forces of light are steadfast in their commitment to assist humanity in realizing its fullest potential, and with each step forward, you move closer to a reality where truth and freedom prevails. We love you and honor you. We are the High Council of Sirius. Message from the angels: 100% trust in God. Question from reader. I'm infinitely grateful for your light readings, which I discovered by chance a year ago. They're the best and most authentic thing I've heard in my 60s. And I always click on them by chance, exactly what I need. I'm currently absorbing my newly acquired book, Jesus Biography 2. I'm thrilled and have a lot of work ahead of me. I've installed 2 light columns in Salzburg. One in front of the church in Hagen SBG, and one in front of the Mozart monument. I have a few burning questions on my mind. Perhaps one or two of them are suitable for your book, which will also be co-created by readers. How could aliens alter our DNA? Does this influence our behavior? Are they exclusively negative? Warriors, deep state, reptilians? Do the Pleiadians and Arcturians also count as extraterrestrials with whom I feel so at home? Can I transform all evil through 100% trust in God? Thank you for your incredible commitment to humanity. Everything is so perfectly harmonious. Sincerely, Paula. DNA and aliens. Paula, how could the aliens change our DNA? The angels, through highly developed spiritual and technological abilities, and by allowing it through our free will, this experience, as humans, separated from God, was only possible. Our devotion and their knowledge made this possible. Paula, does this influence our behavior? The angels, yes. We do not act as creator beings, but as sacrificial beings. This is now changing due to the continuous flood of light from the central sun. Complete human DNA is now being reawakened. Humans are being reconnected to the divine light and universal knowledge. This process has been underway since 1987. Paula, are they exclusively negative? Warriors, deep state, reptilians? The angels, no. There are species of light and species of darkness. Pleiadians and Arcturians. Paula, do the Pleiadians and Arcturians also count as extraterrestrials with whom I feel so at home? The angels, the Pleiadians, and Arcturians are present on Earth, in large numbers, to assist the Earth and humanity in the now imminent ascension. From a human perspective, they are extraterrestrials, and in their perception, they feel at one with you. There is no separation. Transforming evil. Paula, can I transform all evil by trusting God 100%? The angels, yes. If your trust in God is not blind faith, but the realized experience of what God is, then all evil will be redeemed 100%. Blessed are you, human being, who overcomes trials and thus draws ever closer to God. Honored are you, human being, who takes on life after life to fulfill the Creator's plan. You are loved, human being, because in constant being and becoming you understand yourself as love and recognize yourself in God. Share. Aligned and Rooted, May 2025. Dear friend, we have so much to catch up on, so let's dive right in. The magic of alignment. May will offer us an invitation to remember the magic that happens when we come into true alignment with ourselves, with the earth, and with life itself. After months of feeling like we've been tossed around in an energetic windstorm, there's a stabilizing presence emerging now that gently encourages us to root ourselves in what's real, what's nourishing, and what really matters. This month, synchronistic blessings are whispering to us more than ever before, nudging us to look up, look within, and pay attention to the invisible threads weaving everything together. You may notice moments of divine timing happening more frequently, not because the universe suddenly started listening, but because you're beginning to hear its subtle cues more clearly than ever. To support this deepened awareness, the energies this month are inviting us to come back to Earth, literally and energetically. Here are a few soul-nurturing ways for us to attune to this new frequency. Walk barefoot on Earth and let her hold you. Greet the morning sun with gratitude. Nourish your body with vibrant, colorful foods that feel alive. Move your body in ways that feel pleasurable, not punishing. Breathe deeply and awaken your senses: touch, smell, sound, sight, and taste. Let animals, plants, and nature remind you of what is real and holy. The idea of grounding can sometimes be misinterpreted as something heavy or restrictive, but true grounding is anything but that. It's actually liberation. When we're fully anchored in the present moment, we no longer need to chase the future or replay the past. We become available to the miracle of now. And it's there, in the here and now, that our soul has the greatest space to play, create, and flow. Grounding helps us shift out of survival mode and into sacred embodiment. At that point, we are not just surviving anymore. We're choosing to live fully, with intention and grace. A consciousness expanding. There's no denying that we are in a massive wave of accelerated growth. The veils between the seen and unseen are thinner than they've ever been, and many of us are feeling both the exhilaration and the disorientation that often comes with that. Since the start of the year, you may have noticed old habits, outdated relationships, or stagnant roles beginning to fall away. If things have felt shaky, confusing, or even like they're falling apart, that's not failure. It's forward movement. It's the reorganization that always comes before the upgrade. Breakdowns, whether emotional, relational, or internal, are not signs of weakness. They're indicators that your soul is ready for a breakthrough. And when you can meet these moments with compassion, presence, and curiosity, you allow the energy to move with you rather than against you. The mind might resist, as it always will at first. It craves familiarity. Yet your spirit remembers that change is natural, and it's where your greatest expansions begin. Talk lovingly to the mind. Let it know it's safe to release control. That what's unfolding is not a loss, but a rebirth. The good news. May offers us a deeply healing moment, a window to integrate all the lessons, clarity, and wisdom we've gathered so far. If we are willing to listen, this month will reveal gentle but powerful insights that illuminate our path forward in surprising and joyful ways. Birthing new ideas and visions. Creative sparks will also begin to flicker again for many of us, sometimes in subtle ways, and other times in bold and unexpected forms. This month, you may feel called to create something new, a project, a business, a vision, a piece of art, or even a new way of showing up in your relationships. The surge of inspired energy is not random. It's your soul responding to the new space you've made by releasing what no longer fits. So, when new ideas come in, take time to sit with them, play with them, and trust them, even if they don't make perfect sense to you yet. Spirit often sends the seed long before the tree appears. But nurturing that seed is a powerful act of trust in yourself and in life. Soulful connection and heart-led community. This month also calls us to return to connection, not just with ourselves, but with others who nourish and uplift our spirit. We are not meant to walk this path alone. May is highlighting the importance of community, of finding and building heart-led relationships that feel safe, authentic, and expansive. This is a time to reach out, to gather, to listen deeply, and to offer your presence to those you care about. Even one intentional conversation can shift something massive inside you, and create a ripple of healing far beyond what you can see. You are part of the great healing of this planet simply by choosing love, kindness, and presence over fear. Sacred embodiment. Many of us have been journeying, during sleep and meditation time, in the higher realms of thought, emotion, and spiritual insight. And now we are being invited to land those frequencies into our physical form. You might feel a renewed desire to care for and love your body, like never before. That spa day, that massage, that walk in the woods, that delicious nourishing meal, it's not indulgent. It's sacred. It's soul care. Let yourself stretch, move, dance, and feel. Open to intimacy if that's what your soul is calling for. Not just romantic intimacy, but deep, heart-centered connection with yourself and with others. True healing often happens through the warmth of touch, the gaze of another, the laughter shared between kindred spirits. Your body is your spirit's sacred vessel. When you honor it, you're not just tending to the physical. You're anchoring your light deeper into this earth experience, opening to the unknown. You might feel a subtle nudge from life itself, saying, "There's more for you now." Will you let it in? May reminds us that the bridge to our highest timeline appears as we start walking, knowing that, in an Indiana Jones kind of way, the bridge will appear as we take that first step. May also reminds us that we don't need all the answers in order to start the journey. That the unknown isn't here to scare us, it's here to surprise us with miracles beyond anything we've imagined. Ask yourself this month, where am I being called to trust more? To release control? To follow joy? Your answers will guide you to exactly what is next for you. Love as the compass. Amidst the noise, division, and distraction in the world right now, one thing remains clear: love is still the most powerful force on earth. And you, my friend, are one of love's sacred messengers. May is a month to lead with love. To soften when it would be easier to harden. To listen quietly when others are shouting. To choose unity when the world pushes separation. The illusion of division is loud, but the truth of oneness is louder still. You are not alone. We are rising together. And the more we remember our light, the more it ignites that same remembrance in others. This is the time we came to Earth for. This is the turning point. And you are right on time. With love that sees you completely. Until next time. With gratitude. Emmanuel. Master Sanhia, why do you refer to God as He? Hello dear friends. People sometimes want to know what this Sanhia really is. Is it something separate from me, Michael? Is it an ascended master, whatever that might be? Is it the voice of spirit? Can I trust what is said? The answer to all of these questions is, I don't know. The last question might better be answered with, don't trust anything you hear, or read, or think. My relationship with Sanhia has altered over time. I now let through whatever comes. I am not concerned with who or what is the actual source. If it is me, or not me, I don't even know the difference between those two. I do thoroughly enjoy my fly-on-the-wall view of Sanhia at work, often being amazed at how he responds to people. Everything that is said is meant for me. Maybe it's for you, too, maybe not. The half-year-long task of revising the website and forming the YouTube channel is now largely complete. It has kept me busy, but that seems to be why I am here. Sanhia says, jump. And I say, how high? No complaints. I have seemingly a little else to do. Now it is time for me to relax a little more, and enjoy the Swedish spring, unless Sanhia has other things in mind. All I know for sure is that another message is finished, and not a day too soon. Master Sanhia. A good place to begin is to remind you that words do not and cannot express or tell the truth. At best they are pointers. As the poet said, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. So, how do we even begin to speak about what is sometimes called God? Well, we will begin by addressing the question. There is no gender in the divine, in the oneness. Masculine and femininity are part of duality, belonging to the illusion. In divinity there is no he-ness or she-ness. To talk about God, we are left to deal with the language as it is. Here's a little story which some of you might be familiar with if you have been reading these messages for a long time. At one time the closing that was used read, Goddess bless you. This was a fine mind game, playing around with the gender identification that the mass consciousness holds for the one. If some minds were thrown for loops, we are all for such accomplishments. Goddess is no more an expression of truth than is God. When we changed the closing to God blesses you, as you can see, there was also a change in verb form, replacing the common request or wish with a statement of what is. Everything is always blessed by God. Over time that gave way to good now, which is doubly fun. Not only is it an encouragement to honor the present moment, but it also is a great greeting. In this digital world, where people are experiencing all different times of the day when communicating with each other, good morning just doesn't cut it if it is evening for another. There was also a method in the madness of choosing God as the new moniker. We were also playing some mind games here. Many people have an identification with a male god, and it brings fearful pictures for them, such as the vengeful, wrathful Old Testament God. Hearing the masculine pronoun attached to the divinity we were speaking of triggers confusion and reactions for some people. It is their own projection on God that requires some investigation. One final visit to old motivations for gender use. Most readers pictured Sanhia as a male form. This partly came from the male body channel, and from some of the past life stories that were in circulation. In truth, I am also possessing no gender, and am, in fact, not even Sanhia. That's just a name, like God. I allowed these illusions to fester uncontested, because they allowed a game to be played. The great majority of those meeting with us, or reading the messages, were attached to female bodies. They often feared and gave away their power to masculine energy. My teaching was that the feminine always leads the masculine. Notice this does not say the female always leads the male. The feminine energy is intuitive, going inside for guidance. The masculine energy is mental and active. You can see the folly and allowing action to take place without guidance. So the fun game was that these women gave power to the perceived masculinity, and we used that power to encourage them to take their own power, to trust and follow their own guidance. We never told anybody what to do, only encouraged them to follow their own guidance. All games have their time, and now it is time to move on. It doesn't matter what you call this divineness. You can call it the oneness, divine presence, divine absence, everything, nothing, Brahman, Atman, or Allah. It makes no difference because the name neither defines it, nor tells what it is. We can understand that an individual could have a problem with a significant term, because of past associations with that word. If you are plugged in by the term God, feel free to choose an unloaded term, or you can use that term and deal with what comes up for you emotionally and in your body. It makes no difference. We are inspired by this month's question to drop the gender issue altogether. For the present we will change our reference to the divinity previously known as God to it. That's it. You, of course, are welcome to continue using whatever term catches your fancy. We have more to say about this. One thing that comes up for most people on the spiritual path, as they talk about it, is that they consider themselves to be separate from it. They want to learn how to have the experience of being one with it, or perhaps be able to surrender to the will of it, or there may be a desire to feel loved and accepted, forgiven, and not judged by it. There may be some fear of it. Perhaps the dropping of the masculine identity will reduce this fear, but maybe it doesn't. Again, it is likely, as you are reading this, that you feel separate from it, and the idea of being one with it seems beyond the realm of possibility. Actually, it is the only possibility. You are it. Separation from it is impossible. If everything comes from it, how could it stand separate? How could that be possible? We ask you to look and see who it is that notices you. If you is your body, your story and history, your plans and goals, your accomplishments and failures, who is it that is noticing this you? Perhaps your response is, it is me noticing me. Can light shine upon itself? Is that possible? The isness is noticing. The isness is aware. There is no you doing this. This is the one and only lesson there is. There is no you there to do anything, there is only the awareness of doing happening. As I say this, I wish to remind you again that this is not the truth. There is nothing here that the mind can ever understand. The mind that creates the problem, the belief that there is a separate you, that chooses and is responsible, cannot grasp the solution. Belief comes from the mind. It comes from separation. Knowing has nothing to do with belief. You don't believe that the sun is rising. It is rising. You can neither cause it nor stop it. You are. There is nothing that can be done about that. You did not bring your awareness into existence, and you cannot stop it. One thing you can try is to take a step back. Look at the self that you thought of as you. Watch it acting. Notice that what is watching is not what is acting. See if you can tell where this noticer is watching from. Where does it sit? Is it within the body? If so, where is it located? Can you go there? Can you truly find where this awareness lies? If it feels like it is outside the body, can you go to the place where it is? Try this until you realize that it is not in the body, but it is also in no particular place in space. Space, like time, is not real. It is just the screen upon which this life story is projected. You are the watcher of this movie, not the actor. If you think you are the actor, take a step back. Who is watching the actor? Step back as often and as far as is needed until you realize that the watcher simply is without a body, nor a place. Maybe you step back so far that, like in the cartoon, you fall back into the abyss. Who knows how and when the letting go of the personal self will occur? This is not about understanding. It is only about noticing. All comes from it, as your awareness comes from it. It observes life. It is life. Life lives you. The physical is simply here and events simply seem to occur in time. There is no volition involved. You, the actor, have no choice. Things simply happen. The divine truth of you is simultaneously observing and participating. The participation will happen in a smooth, connected way unless the mind thinks it is supposed to somehow change what is. Participant, with this being feeling like a separate entity, as most humans identify themselves, it is not so easy to understand. Also, because we have made God to be so separate from us, is there some way to make it easier to come into contact with this divine energy, or this oneness, that we are? You began by saying that it is difficult to understand this. I would say that you are understating the situation. It is impossible to understand this. Can you understand the taste of a strawberry? Can you explain to another who has not tasted a strawberry what that experience is like? The only way one can know what the taste of a strawberry is would be to taste one. Then, whether you have no desire to ever taste another, or you want many more strawberries, you know what the taste is like. Are you now able to explain that taste to another? Can you even put it into words for yourself? Can the truth of the taste of a strawberry ever be communicated or understood? Can you ever understand the truth of who the physical you is, why you are here, or what you are supposed to do? In parallel, can you explain or understand the awareness that notices what is going on in the space about you? It is absolutely impossible. All that can be done is to experience it. Take a taste and see what is there. You can notice and pay attention. The attempts at understanding will be fruitless, and will merely pull you away from the experiencing. If you have the direct experience that there is no personal you, there is simply awareness and beingness, how would, or could you explain that to yourself, or another? Participant, there is something that comes up in me when I hear this. There is a recognition. A recognition of participant, who I am, of oneness, and that enormous love. It's like I've had an experience that has left a recognition in me. I don't know exactly what it is, but as you talk I can recognize it. Yes, it might be like that. If you were to explain what this experience is like to another listening to this conversation, what would you say? Participant, I don't know. Maybe it's like the strawberry in my mouth would taste a certain way, but for another it might be experienced or described in a different way. That may well be true, but can you even describe how it is in your mouth? Are there words that would give another that direct experience so that they would know exactly what it would be like? Participant, I don't think you can get it from outside. It is an inner experience. How would you explain color to a blind person? Is that possible to do? And, as you inferred with the strawberries, does another even see the same green that you see? If you see a lineup of TVs in a store, no two show exactly the same green. Which one is the true green? Maybe what another sees as green you would call red. It seems like a crazy thought, but how could you ever know? Participant, I don't know. I don't think I could ever know that. So all that matters is your experience of green in the now or of the taste of the strawberry. There is no truth here, only experience. All of that is one with it. All emanates from it and is a manifestation of it, is an expression of it. Also as an expression of it is the little you we could call it. In actuality, there is no it, just it watching. Breathing life and light into it. Participant, when you say all of this, it seems that everybody has their individual experience of the now. It seems that you can just experience it yourself. It is not you experiencing life, it is life, or it experiencing you. The actual experiencer is it, you are just the entertainment on the screen. What is of interest is that the experience of it that you are aware of comes from a unique perspective. Nobody else is watching the same movie, but all movies are interconnected. You cannot watch someone else's movie any more than they can watch yours. Any attempt to understand this, or to know why this is so, can only lead you away from the experience and the awareness of it and into confusion and suffering. The movie is divine, perfect as it is, meant to be fully experienced, a gift from it. Good now. Sanhia/Spirit Source or aofflight.com. The other videos are in the English video playlist. Help me spread the light, click like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.